Yeah, so quote of the day, let you to buy. You heard it here first, folks. Yeah, but whenever, I don't remember when it opens up all the shops. What I'm trying to say here with the English, but it is like 1 o'clock in the morning. I really, like, when I woke up this morning, I was like, okay, I don't have class tonight. I'm gonna come home. I'm gonna replace my taillight because somebody decided it was ugly and I didn't need a taillight. They were like, nah, bro, you'll be fine without it. I'm just gonna run right into it with my truck and get rid of it for you. Like, you thank me later. So that's a thing that happened, but I've went to Amazon, went ahead and replaced it. It's like $45. My truck's a 95, so parts are pretty cheap. Well, inexpensive. Won't say cheap, say inexpensive. And then after I replaced that, one of the bulbs was bad. So I had to go pick up a bulb from the auto parts store. Went to both of them, didn't find the exact bulb that it was, but I found one that fit. So it was all good. Came home, was like, alright, I'm gonna eat some food, and then I'm gonna get on this recording. Cause that's what you do, right? Hit me. And he didn't hit me. You jerk. So I go heat up some food, start eating it, nom nom nom. And then my dad's like, yo, Olympics on. I don't really care about the Olympics. Especially about the women's 200-meter backstroke. Like, really? Not really my thing. I just don't really care about swimming in a competitive environment. I know. Anyway, so we're watching this thing. I finish eating. I'm like, cool. Alright, I'm gonna go record because I need to. And then the people on the TV land people are like, yo, there's this guy. You might have heard of him. Michael Phelps. He's like 31 years old this year, and he's super old for an Olympian, but he's competing and winning gold medals. What? Okay. I'll stick around to watch this. So I see him just wreck face in his 200-meter medley relay or whatever, where they have to do certain techniques of swimming, because there's techniques to swimming. I don't know, it's weird, right? Like, you just, I don't know. When I think swimming, I just think, like, you swim, just do it. You know, I usually end up swimming like, kind of like a frog would swim. Like, think about how a frog kicks his legs, and like, that's how I swim. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but it works for me, and it's not like super energy intensive, so I can be out there for a while. Not important. So I'm watching this, and he stomped at first, like, he got a bad start and was like 8th, like in 8th place or something, and then he started to pick up a little, and he started, you know, to not be such a terrible loser. And then all of a sudden they get to breaststroke, which can only be described as attempting to hump the water. That's what it looks like. They started with butterfly. Well, I want to say it was like butterfly, something else, and then whatever I just said, breaststroke or whatever. And then it ended with, might have been butterfly, backstroke, and then breaststroke. And then it ended with freestyle, which means, oh, please don't kill yourself and like lag me out forever in a day. That would be awful. Which means that they swim the way they do in the old Olympic NES game on the swimming one. Like, that's what they do. And he just toasted everybody. Like, the closest person, and I say toasted, and like the closest person was like a second behind him or something, which really isn't horrible, but in a race, a second is a very long time. So it was pretty awesome. Even though I'm not like a super like Michael Phelps fan and all, like I don't care. When he did the whole pot thing, like I was like, whatever, dude, let him, you know, smoking a joint, alright, or hitting a bong, whatever it was. I was like, you know, you do you. You've proven that obviously if you like to toke it up every now and then, it doesn't affect your athletic performance, Mr. I've got 22 gold medals. So, why, what, who cares? Well, apparently Kellogg and a couple of his other sponsors cared. Because they're a family company, right? They pump you full of sugar and send you on your way to go count the ABCs and tie your shoesies. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, now I was going to stop watching at that point because, you know, he won his gold medal for the night. You know, kudos. That's, I mean, it's amazing feat in and of itself. And since he's old, quote unquote, for an athlete, he's old. Is okay. Like, awesome job, dude. And then all of a sudden, this clock comes up on the screen. I don't remember what channel we were watching it on. It's probably only one channel playing the Olympics, but I don't know if that's a thing or, you know, whatever. So, this clock pops up and this announcer dude is like, yo, so Michael Phelps just won 200 meters in the medley or whatever it's called. And in 32 minutes, he's gonna have to qualify for whatever type of thing it was. I don't remember what. Maybe he won the 200-meter backstroke, and then the medley was the qualifying thing. But I don't think that's right. But that might be more correct. Anyway, so he had to do like 30 minutes after doing the 200 meters. I remember that it was 200 meters. There was a lot of swimming, so I'm sorry. 30 minutes after that, he's got to qualify in another race, which is ridiculously crazy. because that's a lot of swimming. Oh, I think this is random status effects. Yeah. That's crazy. So I was like, okay, so now I have to stay and watch this too. Because it's super incredibly awesome, right? That I wanted to see. How does the most successful, I guess we'll say, what does the most successful, most decorated Olympian, like, how is it gonna stack up to after doing all of that and then qualify, right? Because he's totally, like, he's gonna do it. Like, he's not going to race. So they had they had a couple of women's things in between where the US and Canada tied, and the top two vetted to win this women's competition was like these two sisters from Australia, and they like the Canadian and the American made an Olympic record. Like, they tied for an Olympic record, and like they weren't even on anybody's radar to like do good at all. So they both got gold. Super awesome. This is the only time I'm like ever gonna talk about the Olympics. So you're gonna have to give it to me. Alright, and then right after that happened, Ryan Seacrest came on, and I was like, dude, why are you even still relevant at this point? Nobody cares. Apparently somebody cares. Ryan Seacrest shows up, and he's like, I'm Ryan Seacrest, herp to derp. And then he finally goes away. Okay, good. I'm still, like, safe for the moment. And then he goes away. Michael Phelps comes up, gets his gold medal, number 22. And it's pretty awesome. And Japan got second in the race that he did. And China got third, got the bronze. And then right after that ceremony of him getting the gold medal, he had a good race. I was like, okay, this is gonna be interesting, right? So he's sitting there, and they start this race, and he starts off bad. Like, he does a terrible. Maybe the medley was second, and the first one was backstroke. I think that makes more sense. But he starts off bad. He starts off in like 8th place. Or is the other one who was kind of in front the whole time? Which I know I'm getting my stories mixed up at this point, but 90% sure that's how that went down. Oh, there we go. And he starts off bad, and then all of a sudden, yeah, okay. So the first one I want to say was just backstroke the whole time. It was a whole time backstroke, and he won the 200 meter or whatever. And then the last one that he did, was the medley. So he starts off bad, he's doing butterfly, which looks weird as hell. And then they do backstroke, I think, or something else. And then they do the like, oh, you suck. And then they do the I'm gonna hump the water thing, and he just closes the gap And then you're like, ah, for sure. Got this, right? And I could be getting these two events mixed up, but the end results are the same. So you can take my word for that the end results are correct. And he placed second on the semifinal for tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's final for going for his 23rd medal. And 30 minutes after doing a 200-meter relay. Which, if you've never experienced, good job, Lemon, the joy, and I say joy very sparingly, of working out, like regardless of what it is, whether it's weights, running, you know, whatever it is. If you've never done that, go do that. Like hardcore, really push yourself, like max, like find your max and just go for, like, we'll say lifting weights because that's the last time I worked out I lifted weights. So you do a bench press and do 20, well, 20 is kind of a lot. Do 12 reps, then do 8 reps, 5 reps, 12, 8, yeah, 12, 8, and 5. I think that was it. Maybe it's 12, 8, and 4. I don't remember but 12, 8, and 5. Do those. And then switch. Go, I don't remember what they're all called, but the one where you're sitting on the bench and you reach up and you pull it down and you pull it behind you, because that works out like your back muscles, and then 12, 8, and 5 again. And then do it where same sitting position, but you pull it in front of you so it goes like under your chin. And these aren't, like, not a free weight machine, obviously. Or, yeah, like, yeah, not free weights, which I never really liked free weights anyway, because you don't get an even workout, especially on the bench press. Because with the free weights, it forces you to equalize the pressure, whereas if you're doing free weights, you can totally use your stronger arm, your dominant hand to kind of cheat it a little bit, and you can't do that with the machine. So do that. Don't do squats because they're absolutely terrible for you, and like the worst thing you can ever do to your knees are squats. Like legitimately, you blow out your knees doing squats. And like I don't even, so you work that lower back muscle. There's other stuff you can do, or you work your quads, and I'm pretty sure you work your back a little bit too, depending on how you hold them. If you have them on your shoulders, it's more of doing your quads. If you like hold them down, then it's your back, right? Your back and your shoulders. Whereas if you have it on your shoulders, it's your thighs. Yeah. There's other stuff you can do than squats to get the same workout on that particular muscle, whatever that muscle you want to work out is. So go do that. So just use the other machines to work out your legs, leg press, do the leg curls, that kind of thing. Then do some curls. Yeah, I gotta do curling because you don't want to get your muscles all out of whack and then end up looking like The Rock, where you can't touch your shoulder with your hand because your arm can't bend that far anymore. I haven't worked out in forever, by the way. So just do a full heavy workout and then rest for 30 minutes. And he didn't even eat anything, so don't eat anything. Maybe drink some